For the second time in my life, I've had someone take the wind out of my self-pity sails. The first time was when my brother died, and I was, we were making the obligatory phone calls around and letting people know that it had happened, and everyone's going, "Oh, that's terrible, that's horrible," which it is. But one of my mates actually said to me, "Gee, you're lucky." And I'm sort of on the phone to him going, "How the hell do you determine that I'm actually lucky?" And he said, "Well, you think about, all the times you had together, how much you shared together, the amount of fun you had together, the football you played together, you did a lot together." He said, "I don't have that with my brother." And so, in the 31 years that he was alive, you packed in a lot. I went, "Oh." And the self-pity sails sort of shrink, and you go, actually, yeah, we did have a lot of good times. And I guess it's, very much, is it a stumbling block or a stepping stone? How do you see the event that's occurred? And it's up to you as an individual, using the, I guess, your experiences and the way you're being brought up to determine, is it a stumbling block or is it a stepping stone? So last week I caught up with a mate of mine, a week ago today, and Jonathan is a speaker of some renown here in Australia. He also does speak, I don't know which, overseas in London and in America, and he's written a couple of books, and he's been working, he's worked hard to get where he is. But talking to him, and he knows my backstory and the backstory of my version of the backstory, I will say. Anyway, he said to me, "So, okay, you're in a wonderful position then." I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, what do you want to do? What's next? Where do you want to head? What do you want to do with job, career?" He said, "Your work has always been just work. It's never been too outstanding. So what do you want to do?" He said, "Because ultimately you have nothing more to lose. You got nothing to lose. You're at the bottom, and when you're at the bottom, there's only one way, and that's up. So what do you want to do?" And it took the wind out of me again, because it's easy to fall into that position of woe is me, poor me. And I try not to do that. I try to focus on, what's next? How do I make things better? How do I go forward? But that comment just sort of stopped me in my tracks, and I went, yeah. I've been, I've done a lot of the work I'm doing is contract work, but, I've done a lot of teaching, I've done a lot of leadership programs, training of people, and it's very much, I guess, the field I want to go into. But what stopped me? Years ago, I went to become an airport fireman, and I sat the exam and passed. So I had then the physical and the psych test to do, and I have no doubt I would have passed both of those, because I am fit and I'm as mad as an idiot. But but I didn't do it because of financial. And I guess, well, it wasn't just financial, it was, wife and 4 kids and wife at home and trying to juggle all that. So I'm in a position now where, as the financials have still got to be covered. I've still got to pay mortgage, I've still got to pay rent, I've still got to pay child support, I've still got to live. But I guess I have less to worry about. I don't have that partner who's reliant upon me, and kids are at an age where they are all fairly self-sufficient, and as long as I'm spending quality time with them in the time that I have with them, then that's all good, and I guess I can show them what can be done. So going from the poor me to what do you want to do and where do you want to head was a real thing, and I think that's one of the things that we need to think about. Well, I need to think about, but other blokes probably need to think about as well. What's next? You're at the bottom. So you can choose to make and do a lot of different things. What do you want to do? Empower yourself. Don't just sit there and think, no, poor me. Robin Sharma, the leadership guru from Canada, talks about, go to your boundaries, go to your edges. And when you get there, push. Because when you start pushing, you'll find that they actually move. They give a bit more. So your boundaries aren't really your boundaries. Access, what is it? There's another group, American group, Access, I can't think of their name, but they talk about, well, think of you and the edges of you, not your physical you, but the edges of you. Where are they? What are they? Morning. And then think of you, 5 steps away from that. Think of you 100 metres away from that. Think of you 100 miles, 100 kilometres away, and you're there. You're in each of those spots, and you can be there. You can expand. You've just got to believe that you can expand. Your physical being is only a small part of who you are. The fact that I can influence my kids by having taught them over the years and still influence them means that I'm somewhat there in spirit. There's that essence of I can be influential over people and things they do and not actually be there. But my boundaries are only constrained by what I want to achieve, where I want to head, how I want to do things, and my mindset. And you've got to overcome the mindset.